a bad place to live here.
South Florida, the West Palm Beach, Jupiter area.
Such a hotbed for pros.
Xander Schauffele.
Two-time major champion this season, the world #2. He's that guy now. Just clutch.
What a putt.
Xander Schauffele in such a different place in the game than he was a couple of years ago.
You have to walk through the fires.
I ain't taking days off. Glory's what I came for.
So if you're trying to get to the top and beat everyone, you got to do it. Knock on the door till you beat it down.
Xander Schauffele.
Ain't no one is better.
Here I go. We've been here for a little over a year, maybe. Up in Jupiter, it's a sort of sleepier, slower pace of life, which I enjoy, especially when I'm home away from competing in tournaments. Easy transition from the West Coast. It's a much shorter travel and can get home Sunday nights, and figured things like that would add up in my career. You know, if you have an off season, that means you played well enough to earn some time off where you don't feel like you have to keep playing. It's definitely something that I shoot for every year.
Banner year here for Xander Schauffele, picking off those 2 major titles.
PGA Championship and the Open, the 2 majors.
What's next in his development as a player?
Well, I think now that he has gotten a taste of winning those major championships and really, you know, punched his way through the finish line, I think there's more major championships in store for him.
It's hard to describe. You try to dream of yourself winning it. You practice with your friends when you're a kid, you know, pitch black, this putt to win. To actually do it 20 years later from when I first started thinking about it is a long time coming. I was extremely confident going into Valhalla and felt like this is a really nice place for my game to be in going into a major championship. And started hitting some shots that, as a pro, you're like, holy smokes, maybe I've never even seen myself hit these shots.
Nothing phases Xander. To see where he's taken his game from about 2 years ago to where it is now, everything has gotten better.
When we play together, I mean, obviously he was driving it so well and he was putting it so well, and I went home on Friday night, but he ended up winning the whole thing, so I wasn't surprised.
Xander Schauffele.
What a win at Valhalla.
I was really convinced that I could do it. It was cool to actually get it done, and I think that's really what translated over to the Open.
It is victory for Xander Schauffele.
I was kind of marching, and then I turned around, and Austin was like 30 yards behind me, and I realized it's like this iconic scene that I watched so many times on TV. It's really the sickest walk in golf. The 2 majors that I won were very different. You know, one was sort of a nail biter and having to birdie the last, and the next one felt like I walked through the fire, as my dad would say, was unfazed. So 2 very different wins. It's nice to have Avis. You know, I've been in a rental car for my entire time in Florida, so going to the airport, just leaving it. When I come back, I can just grab another one. I get the convenience factor there for sure. They do all the planning and the prepping, and so for me, it's like clockwork. I can show up and get going. It's nice to have someone really reliable to count on. We are headed to the brand new SoFi Center for the TGL League. It's the bright lights, being in an arena versus sort of being out on a field or course. It's gonna be my first time in the facility. It's quite a visual when you walk in. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Ian, Andrew, Scott, they're going to walk you through the demo.
What's going on? Hey. TGL, Tomorrow Golf League, it is a technology-driven golf competition. You got 24 players, you got teams, you got a screen that is something I didn't even, you could have had the screen half the size and I would have thought that was big. So it's got a lot of wow factor.
So 35-yard tee box, everything from like 130 and longer, real rough, real grass, sitting sand is Augusta National. This is the turntable.
Got it.
So if you walk up here on the green.
This whole thing spins.
Yeah.
It's a very different vibe than what we're used to being in an arena or stadium-like feel. You'll really see the tech come into play when it comes to sort of going from the screen to your short game, where they can spin a green in a circle, they can change the slope on the greens, things of that nature. So it'll be the first of its kind, no doubt.
So in between holes, it'll be like a NASCAR pit crew coming out to change the hole location, cap the old hole, put the new hole.
Oh, wow.
Flag it. Green will change undulation.
Okay. See how high you can hit off of this.
Some fun ones. Yeah, you can get up there. It's fun.
Yeah.
Little playground.
Yeah. What I do is I play golf, so I'm not used to being like in a production and being mic'd up and those things. So sort of anxious from that standpoint. This is a big screen, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in the building, you're gonna have a really good experience and get really close up to what we're doing.
This is inspired by 10 at Augusta. Huge speed slope right here. If you hit it right there, it'll go down another 50 yards.
Okay. It truly is a stadium. You know, we got a revolving green, a green that moves, a monster screen, and pretty cool sort of turf patches we get a hit off of. It's real grass, so it's cool. Proud to be on that New York Golf Club. We're going to go up to visit with sort of part of the team up in New York in a few days, so it's cool to be part of another family. That's so dead.
Please welcome Xander Embedded.
We got Rick, Fitzy, and Cam Young, so 3 really good dudes. Should have never given me this. Never given me this. What are you looking at? There you go. Why don't you guys get in together? Good. You gotta be a little more enthusiastic. No, just you got shot clocks on the side, like lights everywhere, loud music. Kyle, thanks, man. Thank you so much.
Newest team in New York.
Cheers. New York Golf Club.
Cheers.
Come on.
New York Golf Club.
10-2. Let me 10-2 this. I think this feels less safe for me. We'll figure it out. These are definitely one of the perks of the job here, being able to sit out here on a sort of late afternoon. Little breeze, a little bit of sun, perfect weather for shorts. Really relaxed environment here at Panther, so it's definitely something I enjoy. Easy to forget you guys are here. I rarely go to the range just to swing a club. I'm definitely working on something. I'd say a general warm-up, you know, you always start with low clubs, kind of get in the swing of things, kind of turn it both ways a little bit, a little left, right, a little right to left, and then you can slowly advance through the bag. Being on a range, it's not too hard to sort of put the blinders on and really try to replicate the feeling you have now when you're in a tournament. Obviously, you're going to be a little bit more amped up and high-strung. This is my 8th or 9th season, and it's gone by, just like all the veterans told me, it goes by extremely fast. I take 2-3 weeks off away from my clubs, and I still have this burning and itch to go see my trainer. I think the off-season is really important to prove that to yourself or to see where you're at mentally, because I'm sure, you know, at some point in my life, I'm gonna wake up and not wanna go work out, not wanna go hit balls for 3 hours, but I'm definitely, you know, not taking it for granted. If you can get one hole where you're really stressed out on a Tuesday or any day of the week, off tournament, I think that's a success. I've been on a putting green. I was already late to dinner, and I wasn't able to finish, you know, making a certain percentage of putts. So I kept redoing it, and it got darker, and it was harder to see, and I got really frustrated. I ended up leaving the property, failing to finish it, and it really bothered me. So something like that is the most stress you can get trying to, you know, practice your putting, in my opinion. There's times where I get the itch to get up and to go practice, and that's when I know I'm really ready to go for the new year. It's as good as I can do. I've luckily been able to go to Century every year. It's still such a treat to go.
And Xander Schauffele has won the Century Tournament of Champions with one of the best rounds you will ever see.
fond memory of mine. It was a special day. I refer to it as sort of a blackout moment for me. Starting your year in Hawaii is very special, something I haven't taken for granted. It's definitely a really cool place to start. I'm done practicing and preparing. I feel pretty ready to go.